Hi, K's fans. James Barrett-Sterling here for KTV, and we've got a special preview edition for you. Been joined by Hayden Bird on the eve of our second pre-season friendly away at Chertsey Town. Hayden, I'll just say greetings. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, James. How are you?
Yeah, well, thanks. Well, thanks. Looking forward to tomorrow. You've constantly stated that this pre-season's been designed to provide the squad challenges. What are you expecting from the trip to Chertsey tomorrow?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think obviously we had the first challenge of Dorking, which was to go to a very good team, a team that are many people's favourites to win the National South. The second challenge is very different, but equally as difficult, I think. The second challenge is to go away to a Chertsey team that's being managed by Kevin in a way that I think that they can be promoted next season. I think that we'll play a strong opponent. I think that we'll play a very motivated opponent and a team that, in the same way that we were motivated to play against Dorking last week, they will be as motivated to beat Kingstonian. So it's a little bit of unknown territory. You know, I know that Chertsey are a good side. Kevin's put together a team that will challenge. There's no doubt about that. Players like Baxter and Scott Day will do very well for them. So, you know, we're going to have to be on our guard. We'll have to be on our mettle, and we have to maintain a standard in different circumstances tomorrow.
What kind of things have you had the boys working on in training this week? Did the game at Dorking make you reevaluate anything in terms of approaching formations or styles of play?
No, the game at Dorking, I've watched back twice now, as have the team and the analysts. So we've worked hard this week in looking at our performance at Dorking, seeing ways we could improve. The beauty of what we're doing now with Kingstonian TV is that it allows me to go through things with the players in the smallest of details. So without wanting to single people out, if that was a league game, we would be saying that we've played very well, we deserve to win, but we've lost the game on a lack of concentration in the dying minutes of the game, a concentration to close people down, to open spaces, which allowed Noel McManus to play on the half turn. The distances weren't quite right, which allowed Jimmy Newitt to deliver the ball unopposed, and Callum Keeley got across the face of the back players. You know, that's all about pre-season. It's all about people learning. Let's not forget that there were young players on the pitch. Let's not forget Javan, who did really well, is primarily a right back playing left back. And let's not forget that, you know, Cookie had been through his first 90 minutes. So it's all understandable. But I thought we should be really encouraged by what we saw at Dorking. Tactically, the team were absolutely on the money of what we wanted. With the ball, I think we got better and better and better and better. And I think it gave the supporters a chance for the first time to see the quality that we brought into the club. So, box tick there. With regard to Chertsey we anticipate will play in a different shape. So we tactically prepared to play against a 3-5-2 with Dorking. I think with Chertsey we'll play against a 4-3-3. And I think whereas Dorking have a more patient approach, albeit Kevin's teams will want to play, I think they'll be a little bit more assertive, a little bit more aggressive, and certainly more in your face than what Dorking were. So, you know, that again will present a different challenge that will be great preparation for us against a good team. Will be a great opportunity to work against the challenges that we'll come up with in a league game.
Excellent. Just in that answer you gave, you touched on it there. The likes of Ollie, Simon Cooper, Jason Banton all got 90 minutes against Dorking. Will more of the squad get the same opportunity that way, or did you feel that those guys in particular needed a full game under their belt?
No, it wasn't necessarily that they needed the full game under their belt. And ideally, I would have liked to have brought everybody off 45, half an hour, 75 tops. but the squad isn't big enough to do that. Obviously, the likes of Fabio was missing as an example. Look, we don't have a squad of 22 players, and we won't have tomorrow. But I would say the lads that played 90 minutes probably won't play 90 minutes on Saturday at Chertsey, because I think we need to manage people's minutes, because if we start really flogging tired legs, we'll start getting strains, muscular injuries, and we must avoid that. So I think in the first couple of games, it's definitely a case of managing minutes. So whilst the likes of Cookie, for example, may start the game, I would think it's unlikely that he'll finish it tomorrow.
All right. Cool. Could you give us an update on the squad? Obviously, I know Mr. Osborne picked up a knock against Dorking. Is there anything else to report further? Or
yeah, Harry will be in the squad tomorrow. Harry's got a problem, which is an underlining problem in and around his groin. Wasn't actually an issue that he picked up so much against Dorking. It was an old injury that he'd had an operation on just before he went to Braintree, actually. That injury's flared up a little bit. He's had a scan on it this week. Whilst the scan results are a little inconclusive, we've managed to rule out serious injury. So we don't think he'll have to be operated on again. I think it's an injury that we can manage, but we'll have to manage his workload both in matches and in training probably for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll see Harry tomorrow, definitely. Unfortunately, Fabio's not ready yet. Fabio is still suffering with an impact injury on his knee. He's doing very well. He's recovering well. And I would say definitely we'll see him for next Saturday, but won't be quite ready for Chertsey.
good stuff. Okay. And how did you enjoy the day at Meadowbank overall last week? And obviously, we've learned this week that the fixtures are going to be coming out next week for the league, etc. Are you still really excited?
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a great day at Dorking. I love going to Dorking anyway, because they're all friends of mine. I think it's common knowledge. Mark and I are good friends, and everybody at Dorking always looks after me when I go there. But I thought it was a really good challenge, and it was a challenge against an excellent side that we stood up to really well. So I was pleased. I was really delighted with the players in the way they gave a really excellent account of themselves with or without the ball. So it was a really good start, and yeah, certainly we're looking to carry that on tomorrow. Yeah, as you say, the league fixtures are out on Wednesday, I think, and I always think when the league fixtures comes out, it gives you a focus. The last 2 years, certainly since I've been here, the start of the season's been really difficult. Hopefully, we'll be handed a little kinder start to the season this time around. But we'll deal with whatever they give to us anyway.
And of course, everyone's speaking of its coming home at the moment for some reason. I can't quite put my finger on it. For us here at K's, obviously, that's going to be Tuesday, the 20th of July, when we've got a pre-season friendly against AFC Wimbledon. Do you want to just give the fans a bit of detail and update on that one as well? Yeah,
that's going to be a really big game for us. And first of all, I'd like to go on record in thanking Mark Robinson as the manager and David Charles as the secretary for agreeing to play Kingstonian. And I'd like the fans to recognise just how important the game is, actually, because I know that there is obviously a history between Kingstonian and Wimbledon, which goes back to the days of Kings Meadow, and I'm acutely aware of that. But it's equally only fair to say that the reason we're playing this game is entirely down to the Corey Andrews transfer. Corey wasn't contracted to the club, and Wimbledon were under no obligation to do anything for us. But the truth is that because of relationships at management and the board level, they've really gone out of their way to compensate us for Corey Andrews. And part of the compensation agreement is to play the pre-season friendly. Now, I know that the feelings are strong with our supporters with Wimbledon, and probably vice versa. But I think it'll be great for the fans to come and show Corey just how much they love him, to say goodbye. And B, it's a really important day for the club. it's the first time that Kingstonian can bring revenue into the club, and we need your help with it. You know, it's not a case of a begging bowl, but it's the reality that Kingstonian is not only a football club, it's a business, and the business side of the club has been closed since November. I've been told that one or two people have been surprised that it's £10 with concessions for admission. But I would ask everybody to put that to one side, because this is a game where on and off the pitch, the players and the commercial side of the club really need our support. And so we would ask everybody to come, Wimbledon supporters and Kingstonian supporters. Let's celebrate the rivalry. Let's put it down as rivalry. And let's celebrate being back, playing in front of our supporters at home as we prepare for a hugely important season.
Excellent, good stuff. And just one final question, Hayden, can England do it on Sunday?
Hope so. Hope so, definitely. It's brilliant to get to this stage of the tournament. You know, I come from a generation that have seen many spectacular failures with England. Going back to Ron Greenwood, when they couldn't even get out the group stage, the trials and tribulations of Graham Taylor, the glorious failures of Terry Venables and Glenn Hoddle, and the so-called golden era with Sven-Goran Eriksson, which, let's face it, wasn't so golden. So this is really fantastic. It'll be a huge lift for the country if we can win, and let's hope so. But I think the biggest game over the weekend is definitely Kingstonian v Chertsey. I think everybody would agree with that. And just as an aside with team selection, even though that Harry will be fit, Fabio won't. Teo will also be missing. He's unwell. Nyron will also be missing, and Kenny Beanie has a fitness test. So there's one or two issues that we've got to address. But the squad are generally doing very well, in good health, and we're looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, we're very much looking forward to it as well. Hayden, thanks as always for your time. K fans, while I've got you, don't forget the Chertsey game kicks off at 5 p.m. tomorrow, I'm reliably informed. So this might be the first ever case of an early warning. Don't turn up too early to a game. I don't think there's been too many of those in the past. And more information about tomorrow and all the other pre-season friendlies can be found on www.kingstonian.com, as always. Hot off the press, you have to excuse me because it's breaking news. So I'm just looking on my phone. The FA Youth Cup draw has been made. K's are going to be away at South Park, which will be played the first week of September. And if they get through, they could play either Three Bridges or Chertsey Town. So if some of their young players play tomorrow, Hayden, you can do a bit of a scouting job there, couldn't you?
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. No, I think that Nigel's really doing a great job with his team. I've watched them closely, and there's already been two players in Jonathan and Eric that are with the 18s that have trained with the first team in pre-season, and I've got to say they look as though they're ready to join an ever-growing production line of young players coming through. And whilst I'm on that subject, if you don't mind, James, me hijacking your interview, I'd like to congratulate last season's youth section and Sam Oganteo, who come through into the first team, who signed a professional contract with Charlton Athletic yesterday. Sam is a young lad that I think really highly of, did a great job when he came into the first team, and was absolutely delighted to see him get rewarded with a professional contract at Charlton.
Brilliant. You've gazumped my breaking news with even fresher breaking news. How can we be mad about that?
Breaking news, James.
Exactly. Good stuff. Well, that's it from us. Hayden, thanks again. And K's fans, I hope you enjoy your full weekend of football. Come on, K's, and come on, England.